powertoolswiththread.com. That's my blog. And I'm here with...
Keith.
You have a title.
Oh, the bus driver.
The bus driver. We got back last weekend. We had gone to... Not last weekend. Was it last weekend or the weekend before? I think it was...
Last weekend.
It was last weekend. We went to Brenham, Texas, and went to the Friendship Quilt Guild quilt show. And that was a lot of fun, wasn't it? So... Well, Keith kind of stayed in the, Friday we went to the Bluebell plant in Brenham for ice cream. And so Keith wanted to come on with me today and talk about his quilt. If you guys recall, when we were at the Houston Quilt Festival, Keith came across an eagle quilt from a company called Legit Kits. And he fell in love with it, and he's like, I want you to make me this quilt. And y'all, it's paper pieced, and that is not my thing. So I was like, no way, I'm not doing it. If you want that quilt, you make it. So he said, okay, he would. And not only did he get that quilt, he also got a mini quilt that, what was that called?
Eye of the Tiger.
The Eye of the Tiger. And then he got a fox called... Autumn the Fox. And I'll hold this up right here so you guys can see what it looks like. Let me bring it closer. So this is Autumn the Fox, and he's got all the way down to just below the eyes finished. And I'll take the camera off here in a minute and show you guys what it looks like. It's pretty cool. You need to check out Legit Kits. They have some amazing quilt kits on there, including one of a motorcycle that... If you've got a motorcycle lover in your life, they probably enjoy that. So, okay, tell us about the quilt.
Well, again, I am a beginner sewer. I've done upholstery back when I was in college and worked my way through college doing upholstery, but I've never done anything this intricate or small. So it was interesting. Again, I've been working on this quilt for 2 months. Maybe a little longer. I just do a little bit at a time, which the way the kits are set up is really nice. I really respect them. I ran out of fabric is why I'm missing, a teeny tiny piece. And that was real good. I got on the email this morning, contacted Legit Kits, and he said, hey, no problem. I'll send it to you ASAP. Just give me your address. So again, if you run out of material, they're there to back up their product, and that's what I was really happy about. You know, there are some mistakes. You're going to make mistakes during this, and you're going to learn angles of the dangle and all sorts of things that you never knew that you were going to do. But there's a lot of techniques that I found that are easy to do. You know, you're going to make mistakes. Getting started, it's frustrating doing the upside, backside. The good thing with these kits, it's solid colors. So you don't have two different sides. They start you out with blocks, and the bigger blocks are easier than the little blocks. The little blocks take more time, but it comes with a page, gives you the different selections that you have to do in the different colors, you know, that are easily identified. What I do, it starts with 1, and this one goes 1 to 5. And what I do is I set up my materials. I draw from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then set it over by the machine and start from there. What you got to realize, and one of the biggest things that when you're starting to learn how to do this, and the frustration level gets you, and if you don't have one of my seam rippers, you need one because
shameless plug.
I've taken these things apart many times because I didn't have the angle right. But what I learned, the biggest thing is the number 1 is going to be faced up so it's on top. And you just make sure that that pattern goes over number 1. And then your second one, number 2, is going to be the underneath. And make sure you have enough material underneath to do it. I had a hard time getting started thinking that you can move this around. But it's not that way. What it is, you got to make sure that your number 1 fabric on top is the top. The one underneath is gonna go underneath there, and you cover it, and make sure you cover it. Don't waste a lot of material, but there's plenty of material there if you do it right.
You're covering your face.
And well, that's all right, I have my face here, no. And that was one of my biggest starters, you know, again, when I got started, I thought I knew what I was doing, and then I'd come back a day or two later, and I'd go through the frustration level again, and I realized, oh, number one's always on top, make sure that one fits, and then make sure, then you do number two underneath there. If you go online and see different YouTube deals, they say use the light. That works and doesn't work with these solid colors. It's just basically the angle of the dangle. You're gonna fold it over, make sure you have enough material under there, and just cut away a little extra because you're gonna square it up at the dark black lines. And that's, once I got through that, it started flowing, and I didn't have any problems for a while until I ran out of material. Again, I got frustrated, but you can sew two pieces of material together and you won't even notice it in the quilt.
Yeah. So, but you didn't run out of material because you didn't have enough material. The kit came with enough material. We want to make sure that you guys know that if you get something from Legit Kits, their big claim to fame is not only do you have enough material, but if you make boo-boos and you need more, they will send you more for free, right? Yeah. Yeah.
And again, they're not, you just tell them what you need, you know, to the minimum. When you do see my quilt, you're gonna see that all my points aren't perfect. This is my first quilt. I'm satisfied with all my points not being perfect because it's a beautiful quilt for what I have done right now. And that's the number one thing, is just getting started. Because once you go there, and it says right on the Legit Kit, it is addicting, it's enjoyable, and it's also, along with enjoyable, it's frustrating at times. Like I say, you take your sewing machine down, it said 0.10, I take it to 1.2, just so you can get in there with the seam ripper when you have to take these seams apart. Other technique is, if you do make a mistake, you are cutting a line through this paper, have a scanner available, so if you do have to start over, which when I began, I started over quite a bit. Don't let your wife scan them in, because the scanner made it smaller, but again, we caught that on the block, the first block, so that we don't do that anymore.
Watch for paper resize if you have to make reprints of these, yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And then once you get the full blocks done, it comes in, this one has 8 blocks across.
How many rows is that?
8 down, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah. 8 across, 8 down, but this is the final. And each one has a block, 8, 7, 6, this is one alpha, and it has a number. You make sure you keep the block, finish the block. What I did is I finished the whole row, then I sewed the row together, and then you do the next row, and then you sew those 2 rows together. And they have these kits, you know, so you see where it goes, what it's supposed to look like. And they are extremely a lot of fun. When you're putting your squares together, you have another easy deal. It'll tell you what square to do, and then it gives you the number, 1, 2, 3. Just sew those pieces together. That would be 3 separate pieces. And you put them together, you get the big blocks, which is going to be...
It's out of my hand.
Well, you're not put that in your hand on my seat.
I was holding your chair so it didn't slide away from you.
Put the blocks together, and before long, I'm not going to say how long, because sometimes I do good. It's cold, rainy, wet outside. I've really been trying to get some done today. I was going to try to get it done this week, but we'll see if that happens. Along with their bending it over, when you do go online and see how to paper piece, make sure you have a piece of cardboard, full size, to go on the lines to bend it over to match up your 1/4 inch seams. I was trained in upholstery with 1/2 inch seams, so that's another new experience. But I'm getting there, getting better as we go. As you'll see on my quilt, once the farther I get down, the better it got.
Let's go look at it.
All right, let's go, and I'll...
You guys have been asking how Keith's coming on his quilt. And he's in here working away. I'm really glad that he got these at the show in Houston because it's keeping him busy in this really cold weather. How's it coming, babe?
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah? So he's cutting his paper pieced patterns. I'll show you what he's got so far. Look at the eyes on that fox. He's done all this himself. Very proud of him. Other than a video from Angela Walters on YouTube on how to paper piece, he has just kind of taken after it himself. Are you having fun? Keith?
Yeah, it's some wonderful fun.
You don't look happy. Let's see it.
Well, it's not done.
Well, I know it's not done.
Miss Peach.
This is that Brother BQ 950 machine that he bought at the show. He's got it down to 1.2 millimeters on the stitch length to keep it nice and small for paper piecing. He's got the quilt table on it. He's really happy with that. Look at him go, y'all.
Okay, so you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows that I've got done. This row has not been attached yet. This is the last one I did because once I got the eyes on this whole quilt, this was the small pieces and the rest of them are relatively big. But once I got those eyes done, put them together, you know, bang. This starting to look like something again, you know, because when you're looking at these one row at a time, you don't really see it. But it's getting there. It got the ears, and all I have left is 3 more rows below, and we're done. I'm excited. Like I said, I'll back up legit kits. You know, it gave me a 1 dot saying it was easy. With, I like to read their deal. It says lots of large pieces with a few technical blocks. This is the definition of a technical block. Okay.
Yeah.
Now my next quilt is a 3-star or 3 dot. It's the eagle. I'm sure I'm going to take more time on that. But the good thing is I did this one, learned the basics. And again, it's a lot of fun. You know, when I'm not bus driving, doing seam rippers for my wife, remodeling the room again. This is what I get to do on rainy days.
It looks great, Keith. It really does. You should see it through the camera. It looks amazing. It looks really good. So if you've never paper pieced before, I was taking a craftsy class years ago, and I think it was an Amy Gibson quilt had some paper piecing. She was showing how to do that, and y'all, it just, I didn't get it. I didn't like it because my brain could not wrap around that. Keith just took right to it. He watched one video. It was like a 5-minute video from Angela Walters on how to do paper piecing. And he's like, I got this. And then he just took off in there and started it up. He'll disappear for hours at a time. How you liking your new BQ 950? That's that new machine.
Okay, sewing machine, you know, it was the thing of the deal when I was at the quilt fair. Yes, Becky has plenty of machines. I wanted an entry-level machine. The good thing, Nathaniel at All Brands talked me into a couple steps up. What I recommend as a basic machine, you want to have the automatic threader and the automatic cutting. When you get done, you can press the button and cut your thread. Because if you're real basic, you got to pull your thread out, you got to trim it each time. Those are the 2 real keys that I have. With those, the rest of the stuff comes on. You got the stitch monitor over there. Another thing I learned real quick, every time you turn on that machine, it defaults to a certain stitch. You need to make sure if you're gonna go straight line or to the left or the right, and then set your size down to 0.0 or 0.2. You need to do that every time you turn it on. That was another learning experience. I'd start and go, oh, now I gotta go start all over again because I had wrong stitches in there.
It jumped back to 12 stitches per inch. So he backed it. He brought it way down to 1.2 stitch length, but it starts out at what 2.5, 2.5, and you'd have to bring that down. Yeah. Now the whole point of doing the tiny stitch length is so that your paper is easy to peel off the back.
But along with the shorter stitch length, it makes it harder to rip the seam.
Yeah.
So when I do the blocks together, I don't use the 1.2. I use the 2.0 because that gives you enough stitches if you need to. Becky doesn't like me picking, but it will pick it up and get a couple threads started, and then you can use the seam ripper. I like the 2.0 instead of the 1.2 because it's, I mean, you can do it if you're not making mistakes. I like 2.0 because you can still get the paper off the back, and it's not a pain to get all the stitches out.
And he's figured out that every once in a while you need a little either SF 101, that Shape Flex 101 from Pellon, or a single-sided adhesive featherweight interfacing, because that rotary cutter is bigger than you think.
What happened to the rotary cutter will, you'll go a little bit farther and you don't notice it until you sewed it to another piece, and then you'll see that little cut, and that's what we did today. I mean, it's easier than replacing the whole piece and starting over. So that's one of the things. Try to use it a little bit more, pay attention. I get in a little hurry every once in a while and miss that. Like I said, they hide themselves because it's such a clean cut, but you can overcome them.
I have a smaller rotary cutter. I think I have an 18.
That's not the problem, ma'am.
Okay. That's not the problem. How funny. This has been great to give him something to do. It has been very rainy and cold, and he doesn't want to be out in the shop. And the weather's just been really bad. We were going to go to the coast this weekend and ended up not, because it's just not a good weekend to do that. Couldn't go fishing, don't want to be outside, can't fix anything. So it's a great thing. So are you going to long arm it?
Oh no, my wife will long arm it, baby. Oh, I have to thank one of Becky's viewers up in Idaho. She did send me the hat. That, I was looking all over trying to find an Idaho hat.
That was from Annie.
Annie sent me one. I greatly appreciate it. And if y'all want to send me a hat from your state, I will take one.
Oh no. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so we have a big trip coming up, and we're going to be hitting quilt stores all the way from Texas to Key West. We're leaving the 24th of April, and we're going to spend the night in Lafayette, Louisiana, I think. And then the next stop is Biloxi, Mississippi. So I don't know if we're going to get to any stores in Lafayette, because it's going to be late when we get there, and we're taking off the next morning. But then Biloxi, and I'm going to be going to Piece by Piece in Biloxi. And then from there on, we're making it all the way over, taking I-10 all the way to Florida, and then down all the way to the Keys. And so my bus driver here is going to be, how long is that bridge? I heard it's like 17 miles over to Key West.
It's long.
You've been to Key West before, right?
Yeah, and C-130, we flew in it.
Yeah. We tried to get reservations at the NAS, the Naval Air Station there, but they don't take reservations from retirees until like the end of May, and we're going to be there too soon for that. So we're going to be staying at the KOA there in Key West. But I hear there's a great quilt store there, so I'm going to check that out too. But we're going to be staying in Tampa for a couple of days to and from, and we're going to St. Augustine, and then we're making our way up into Georgia and South Carolina, and then heading back from there. We've got to stop in Birmingham. Alabama. We have to stop in Birmingham and see friends, yeah. So we'll be back, I think, the end of May. But I'm going to take you guys along with me, just like I always have. My bus driver here, we'll get some shots of him driving along. Working. He's really done some cool stuff with the bus. You fixed the outdoor light. The outdoor, like the porch light was out. So when the moon's not on, it was very dark. And then he just lit up, what'd you put on? LED lights underneath the awning. So that's kind of cool. It's going in for air conditioner fix.
Fixed the air conditioner that we broke when we were in Houston months ago.
Yeah. So the bus has really been quite something to keep you busy too, that's for sure. It's always something. Well, I mean, mechanically it made it to Idaho and back and everything, but when we were in Houston, you guys might remember we had a compressor fail. And when the compressor quit turning, the flywheel quit turning on the compressor, the belt broke, the big serpentine belt broke, and the compressor belonged to the air conditioner, right? It was the air conditioner compressor. So in order to get the compressor out to replace it, the guy that we hired to fix it had to literally saw off, right?
The AC line.
Yeah.
Two different metals, they corroded together. So I just have to have those reconnected. I've replaced the dryer on the front, and that's going in next Wednesday to get that fixed.
Now, where did you learn so much about how to fix mechanical things?
I went to auto mechanics in high school.
Aha! Don't you wish they still offered that? And when did you go to Votech?
In high school.
Oh, that was high school? I thought that was after high school.
No, I went half day to high school, half day to Votech.
Okay. And his dad gave him a full set of Snap-on tools?
Oh yeah, that was part of my college education.
Very, very handy. Because he can fix just about anything. Yeah, that was... So I have to tell you, when we met, we were working in the same place. I was still active duty, and he was a contractor. And I had a 1996 GMC Jimmy, right? It was a used car I had, and I was on my way to work one day, and it was raining. It was just pouring, and my windshield wiper motor quit. And so this didn't happen anymore. They kind of like stuck up, and that was the end of that. So I barely made it to work. I had to pull over to the side of the road, wait for it to let up a little bit, and then I got into work. And I was lamenting at work that my windshield wiper motor had broken. This one says, well, you want me to take a look at it? And I was like, okay, can you do that? I had no clue, right? And he came over and fixed it for me. He replaced the windshield wiper motor. It was so easy for him. He's just like, he takes the old one off, runs over to AutoZone, gets another one, comes back, replaces it. And I was like,
Then you broke the air conditioner.
I didn't break it. Then the air conditioner went out. So I knew he had some redeeming qualities when he fixed the windshield wiper motor. And then the air conditioner on it went out. And I went up to him and I said, hey, my air conditioner went out. Do you think you could take a look at that? And he came over and he fixed it. And, just like a stray cat, I started feeding him after that, and then he never left. So that's kind of how we met. And, we met at work, but that's kind of how the relationship started. Was I realized he had some pretty good qualities besides just a pretty face. Oh, we have a giveaway.
Oh, that's right. We've got a giveaway.
We have a giveaway. Do you guys want to see what we've got? So, if you've been watching my channel at all, I'm in the middle right now of doing Lori Holt's chicken salad quilt. Here's a picture of it right here. Remember the lady who gifted me Miss Texas?
Yes.
Yes. So Miss Texas is a featherweight 221, and she has a Texas flag print. It's painted on her. And this lady wrote to me, and her name is Lady M to my channel. She's a benefactor of my channel, and she wrote to me. She lives in North Carolina, I think, or South Carolina. I think it's North Carolina. And she wrote to me and said she needs to come home. So I was like, are you kidding me? So I went ahead and got Miss Texas. And then another one of you, my viewers, wonderful viewers, sent me a thread spool holder for it that was done on a 3D printer. So that's really cool. Anyway, so Lady M also gifted you, viewers, a kit for chicken salad. And this kit, these are gone, you guys. You cannot find these anywhere. And so let me show you what's in the kit. You need help?
No.
Yeah, you gotta hold everything. Okay. So it comes with the pattern. And this pattern, I went ahead and put the right size picture of chicken feet. This printout that's in here is from Lori Holt's blog. So I put a little note with it to tell you what it is. Here, hold that. It comes with the rick rack that you need to put on the quilt. Hold that. There we go. And, ooh, all the fabric. So it comes with, I think it's 42 fat quarters. And it comes with all of the cherry turnover fabric for the background. And it comes with enough fabric for a binding. And it's great. This is beautiful. Lady M, thank you so much for gifting this to all of my viewers. You are amazing, and I can't wait to see who wins it. So if you'd like to win this kit, please leave a comment below that you would like to win the Lori Holt Chicken Salad Quilt Kit. You have until March 2nd, 2022 at 5 p.m. Central Time. And then I will select a winner using the YouTube comment picker. You need to leave a comment below this video. Don't put a comment on the blog. Don't put a comment on Facebook. Don't put a comment on Instagram. You need to leave the comment below this video because I'm going to use the YouTube comment picker. If you're watching this on a TV, be sure to grab your phone and check it out. And you need to log into YouTube. You need to have a YouTube account. You need to log in, you need to hit subscribe and ring the little bell so that you know when I put out a new video, and then leave a comment below. So, all right, I think that's it. And Keith, thank you so much for being here. I know you really enjoyed it. All right, what do we always tell them to do? Go sew something. Bye.
Bye.
Hey everybody, hi, it's Becky from PowerToolsWithThread.com. That's my blog. Just a minute, let's shoot that again. That can be a blooper at the end. All right.